Okay, so welcome back to another video on the delay. And this one is the number three, is the created delay one. And previously we talked about delay for width and delay for depth. So I'm gonna give you the link right here at the top. And now, of course, I made a tiny video with all of these techniques. Everything is just, kind of a very chopped and very small. But, there is no in-depth explanation of what we are doing. So if you're beginning, you're starting, and you want a little bit more explanation, a little bit more background, you are on the right spot. So I'm going to show you what I had right here. I'm going to show you the version with no delay and then the version with the delay techniques that we're going to do and we're going to learn right here. So first, I'm going to play the ones with no. Now, let me just start from the beginning. Okay, so now the one with all the delay techniques. So yeah, it's just a different track, right? Okay, so we're gonna need to do a lot of things. There's a lot of things we a lot of work. So first, we're gonna start going parts because if not, it's gonna get a little bit confusing. So first, we're gonna start with the kind of the percussion side of things. With the kick, we did nothing. We have a glitch right here. Let me just toggle this active, and this is what we want to achieve. For now, I'm just gonna go and mute or just toggle active. I'm gonna just show you what we have right here. Go there. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go and do off everything. So this is a tiny glitch. So you can grab whatever is that you want, maybe a tiny little noise, maybe a tiny little vocal, it doesn't matter. And then you just can repeat it on different occasions, repeat it with different times, and you can create a pattern. That's the whole, idea, just to create a pattern out of something very small. If I play this, not that, let me just play the glitch. That's the glitch. I know it sounds very, very small. That's it. So now what we can do at the top of this, we can go and we can add a tap delay. This is a tap delay. The delay number 4 is a tap delay. So let me just go right here to the automation and turn this on. So what we want to do, we want to create something like that. We want to create a kind of a percussion, kind of a, sequence. So tap delays are just great for this. Now, the thing is that this one is not going to go off just like that. That is that I need to turn it off and back on. So this one, what we do, what this, does is that it has 4 delay heads, and the 4 delays are going to be playing on different parts, on different sections. So now we have a tiny glitch. Now notice that the mix is it's just 50%. And I'm using the kickstart to create a sidechain. We're going to talk about this. So this one, when it plays, is going to go through the first one. So the first one is going to go and start playing. I'm going to go. And this is what we get. And notice that if you're listening to this on headphones, it sounds very wide. That's, the whole purpose. So we have 1 head, 2 heads, 3 heads, and 4 heads. Now, if you don't know how to use this device, I'm going to give you the link right here at the top. I made an explanation on this one, this delay, because it looks confusing, but it's just, really, really not. So, okay, I'm going to go back. And right now we have the first head, the second one, the third one, and then the fourth one. Now, the first one is doing 1/16. And notice that right here, you get the pan control and you get the volume control. Now, the first one, it's playing 1/16. The second one is playing 1/16. So we are doing the same thing, but one is towards the left and the other one is going to be in the right? So very simple stuff. Now then at the bottom, we have a third head, but this one, it's playing on a different time signature. Notice that it's 4/16. It's a little bit different and it's lower in volume. So it's going to go and sit behind, but it's going to play in a different place. That's why we get this, we get the sound. If I go all the way down on these ones, we can now get some kind of a different sound. And if I go all the way down on this one, notice that we are listening to the 1/16 of the first head. If I go up, we're going to start getting the one in the right. And I go Of course, I need to stop it and do it again. Now, then we have the third one again that it's going to be playing on a different part. So I'm going to go and turn this off and show you what this is doing. So this one is doing like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one is going to be centered. So we have the 16s in the sides, and then we have the one that is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to, in the rhythm, and it's going to be very centered. This is very important. So, okay, I'm going to go to the previous example. Go over here. I'm going to do 1, 5. So the trick is that we create some kind of a behavior on the sides and then in the middle. And the one in the center, if we want, we can skip this one, or we can just, provide some volume just to get something a little bit more. And this is the sound we get. We get just a very wide percussive kind of a sound. The thing is that this one is going to be sitting on top of everything. So what we do, we bring a side chain so we can get that, that kind of a motion. So this is ducking the volume on each beat. And we get a percussive sound. That's it. Now, of course, I already did this right here because remember that when we loop this one, and I'm going to go and play it. Let me just go back. I'm going to go and turn this on, enable the automation. If I go and play it, it's going to start playing it. You're going to get it. That's fine. Don't mind this one, right? Don't mind this one. We're just listening to this track. The thing is that this is a delay. It's going to start summing everything that we fit in. So after we start the first loop, notice that there's a phasing going on. That's why whenever you do something like this with, this kind of delays, these techniques, you need to punch them in. You need to record them. Because if not, it's just not going to work. So what I did right here, I just did the recording. And this one, I'm just toggling active. So we don't have the same problem. So now we get the glitch. And it sounds really cool. So, yeah, that's it. So tap delays are just very important for us. They give us very creative tools because we can do different timings and we can, mangle the output and the panning. Okay, so what's the next most common thing? I'm gonna go to the synth because I kind of did something very similar. I'm gonna go and show you how the synth sound without anything. I'm gonna go. That's the synth. Super boring, Super boring. So we could take what we did with the glitch and trying to create a rhythm pattern. And all of this is just, a kind of an experimentation. So I created an FX layer. So we have 2 different layers. The layer number 1 is going to be the original sound. And it's because we are going to be creating copies with the tap delay that are going to go and sit at the bottom or maybe after the original sound. So by using an FX layer, we can, control the volume of the kind of the root, the main instrument, and then the copies. But the first one has nothing, but the second one has the same thing. And on this one, what we are doing, I'm just using different times, right? And I'm using different panning and different volume to create a rhythm. Another thing that we are doing a side chain. So for now, I'm gonna just turn this off. I'm gonna go and do the playing, and you're gonna notice that it sounds very, very different. So this is the original, remember? And these are the copies. Now, of course, now we are playing both at the same time. And what we can do, we can control the volume with the effects layer and just, lower the volumes of the copies and leave that one in. And that's gonna sound, in context, gonna sound cool. Now, on top of that, what we can do, we can go and just create a sidechain. Now, what this is doing is listening to this layer, to this layer, the original one. And every time that this plays, is ducking the volume of the second one, of the delay 4. So we get a better blend between the original source, the main one, and the delayed one. And on top of that, if we wanted to, we can do a little bit of side chaining just to fit it to the track a little bit better. And in context, And if we turn this off, very, very different, right? That's it. Again, just a tap delay. Just the tap delays are just very important. Now, this is the version you get in Bitwig. On each major DAW, you get a version of this delay 4 of the tap delay. And you also, you have plugins for this. Pink Floyd used to use the Binson Ekarek, which is one of the most well-known tap delays ever, and Pink Floyd use it. So there you go. So let's move on from the tap delay and let's go to something else that you might want to use to do the whole time. In this case, I'm just gonna go to the crash. First, I'm gonna disable the delay right here, and I'm gonna show you what this is. Just a crash, not interesting. So yeah, that's it. So what we want to do, we want to create some kind of something else to create something else out of the crash. So what I did, the delay is all the way off when the crash enters, but then when we get the first crash, we are just doing a little bit of delay. And notice that it's 3 and then 4, so we are offsetting the left and the right, and that's it. Of course, we can do a little bit of side chaining, and you're gonna get that effect, which is much more interesting, right? Now, of course, we I have a lot of feedback just to get that sustained sound, because the crash, extends and goes and goes and goes. And at one point, I'm turning this off. So the thing is that the drop in volume, it's very quick. So what we can do, we can, again, use a little bit of automation. I'm going to go right here, just touch the volume. I'm going to say that whenever we want to go down in volume, I'm going to go maybe right here. There, we just put it there. So the volume is going to be kind of a 0. And whenever we want to go down in volume, you're just going to go down in volume, just like that. I'm going to go and play it. Let's go again. And there you go. Problem fixed. Now, taking the same idea, we can do it with other kind of effects. And this is a very common one, the clap one. So let me show you how this sounds first. There you go. Pretty simple and pretty effective. Now, this is, again, just a clap, and I'm sending it to a bus channel. So if I just turn this off and play the clap again, it's just a clap, right? All right. So I'm going to go right here and just show you what I did. So what we did the same thing. We are doing a 3 and then 4. We are offsetting the left and the right. Nothing really weird. I'm going to go and just turn this off and just show you how this sounds. All right. Let's go again. Okay, so the thing, of course, is that the clap, it's very short. We don't have a lot of feedback. We could go right here and make a long feedback and just, get a little bit more of this. But it sounds a little bit boring, right? You cannot argue that it sounds boring. All right, so let me maybe do a little bit more. And I'm doing a little bit of cutting a little bit of the lows and a little bit of the highs. So what you can do right here, just to get things a little bit more interesting, you can chain delays. Now remember that you have a delay, which is a repetition. We are all the way 100%. So this is gonna reproduce whatever we get after the main clap. But then we can grab the repetitions and just delay them again. And in this case, I'm using a different delay, which is, guess what? A tap delay. Yeah, this one has different taps. So we have 3 different heads. I'm gonna be playing on the head number 2, on the head number 3. Now this one is going to delay the delayed claps, and it's gonna sound awesome. So I'm gonna go and play it. Fantastic, right? So this is the emulation of the Roland Space Echo. Let me just bring the image right here. This is the Space Echo. It's a very vintagey, a very analog, delay machine. And it's one of the greatest delays in history. Now, this one as well has a reverb, a spring of reverb tank. So what we are doing right here as well, we are delaying the delayed, already kind of, you notice that we are kind of doing a little bit of detune right here. And then we are just, again, delaying with different taps, and we are applying a little bit of spring reverb. That's why we get that kind of a magical sound. Let's go again. Just really great, right? Now, if we wanted to, again, you can do a little bit of side chaining so we can, fit it a little bit better to the track. So blending kind of let's say a digital delay and then blending it with, maybe a vintagey tap delay with a little bit of reverb. It's just, it's going to give you that vibe. Just going to make everything a little bit more interesting. Okay, I'm going to go to the same clap and I'm going to go and turn it all the way down. So we can reuse this clap into doing something different. So what I want to do is to do something like this. I already did it. Of course, I'm going to show you how to do it. Right? So very simple stuff. So the whole trick, I'm not going to record it again because I kind of already did it. I'm just gonna show you. Let me just stop it. I'm gonna show you how I did it. I'm gonna go to the H delay. And again, this is the most simple delay you could get. So the trick is that the delay, the clap, is going to enter the delay. We are doing a dry and wet of 100% because we want to catch of course, the delayed signal. And what we do, we need to provide a lot of feedback. So we want a lot of that repetitions. And I'm going to do 1/8. So when the clap hits, we're going to get the clap, 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 clap. And then, of course, what we want to do, we're going to get a lot of feedback. So it's going to go and get a little bit crazy. So watch your ears. So that's it. Now, if you want to stop it, go the feedback all the way down. But we are getting that, we're getting that effect, that the claps. Now, the thing is that what I want to do, I want to play these claps all over the place right here. And at one point, maybe after, 2 bars, I want to create a different effect. So the main point to do this is just to, go down right here on the break. So I'm going to go. All right. So that's it. So since this is an analog delay, whenever we change the time and, the time right here is going to create that effect, which is super awesome. So what we want to do, we want to punch this in. I'm going to go and kind of I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to go and remove this once. I'm going to be going to this, this track. And I'm going to be listening for this one, for whatever that happens on the clap delay. I'm going to go to the input, have a lot of inputs. I'm going to go right here and the track calls clap. Okay, so I'm going to go, pre is fine. It's okay. So I'm going to go and if I play it, we should be getting something right here. So I'm going to go, let me just double check. Okay, I made a mistake. I did it on this one, but that's fine. So we are listening to this clap right here on this track, right? That's what we are doing. We are just listening. So if I go and do a record and I play, notice that that clap shows right here. So what we want to do, we want to catch this and we want to record it. So I'm going to go 1/8. I'm going to do a lot of feedback and I'm going to start recording. And I'm going to go and maybe start from there. There you go. So now, of course, what we need to do, I'm going to go and disable this. We need to mess or just to maybe to play around with what we have right here. Because at the end of the day, we get this mess, right? Let me just play it again. Oh, I'm going to go and disable this. I'm going to go and say no input. Let me do it again. So this is what we get. Now, at this point, this is where we are getting that, kind of a going down in time, maybe right here. So I'm going to go and I'm just going to chop it. I'm going to go bring the knife. Let me just, it was almost around here. Okay. So I'm going to go, I'm going to move it. And if I listen to this, there you go. So what I want to do, I want to create a kind of a riser right here. I'm going to go and just kind of select it maybe around there. I'm going to go right here and maybe make it 2 bars or something like that. Maybe something like this. I'm gonna go and chop this one. And what I can do, I can reverse this if we wanted to, right? But in this case, I'm just gonna not gonna reverse it, just gonna leave it like the way it was. And what we can do, we are gonna need to do a little bit of this, right? So we can kind of introduce or rise the volume. And that's it. Now, as soon, of course, the main clap is gonna go and just, we're gonna hear the clap. What we want to do, we want that wobbling effect. Yeah, so that's it. Now, of course, in this case, maybe it should be longer, but that's fine. And we should do the same thing to the other side. So we are creating kind of a riser with the same clap. Right? So there you go. Now you have a riser. Okay, so let's talk about the vocals. I'm gonna go to the vocal right here, and there's a million. There are just a million things we can do with delays in terms of creative delay. I'm just showing you a few examples. Then, of course, everything depends on the source material and the things that you're actually using. But the ideas are the same. Just messing with the timings and then recording it and just maybe reversing it and just adding effects at the top. It's just the same idea. Of course, you need to do a little bit of experimentation. I'm gonna go and just play this one. So this is the sound from the vocal, right? Do what you want to do. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to go and use a little bit of delay, and I want to use a freeze delay. So this means that at one point, this is gonna freeze the vocals. And notice I'm doing a lot of automation. Let me just maybe put it right there for now. So first of all, I'm using as well the pan man. So this is gonna go from left and right, left and right, left and right. The thing is that I don't want to use this. I don't want to go from left and right when the main vocals is saying something. I just want to do it at the tail when it's finishing to saying something. So whenever that happens, the pan man is gonna kick in. So we are doing automation, and it's gonna start moving everything from left to right because it's a panner, right? Now the thing is that at this point, what we want to do, we want to bring the timeless. And right here, notice that it says delay freeze. And we are doing the blend right here. We are just kind of rising the blend. So whenever we get the last word of the phrase, I'm going to the timeless and I'm doing a freeze. So it's going to freeze whatever vocal or whatever word we are saying right here. And it's going to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. Let me just show you how it sounds. Do what you want to do. Now, of course, this is one of the most classic effects that you could do on vocals, right? Let's start again. Do what you want to do. So the panman from left and right, and we get the filter right here. Now, at one point, of course, you're gonna need to go silent, or you're gonna need to turn it off, turn the freeze off, and maybe just go down in volume. Now, in context, sounds really cool. All right, so that's it. Another one. Okay, so let's do something else with the vocals. I'm gonna go right here, and we're gonna do something very similar to what we did with the claps. I'm gonna go and enable the delay right here, and let me just put feedback all the way down. So what I want to do, I want to play the vocals, but I want it with the feedback of, I don't know, a lot. So I'm gonna go and play it. Notice I'm doing 1/8. Yeah, so this is what we want to do. Now we want to do the same thing right here. I'm gonna go and just delete this, and I'm gonna go and pretty much do the same thing with it previously. I'm just gonna go and listen, and audio engine crashed. All right, so let's start again. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna go and select. We're gonna be listening to the vocals. So if I just turn this off, we can see right here that we are getting the vocal, right? So, okay, so this is what we want to do. Now I'm gonna do the same thing we did before. I'm gonna go to the delay. I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna record maybe from here. So I guess, that's enough. So what I want to do, I don't care about the beginning of this. I just care about maybe around here, maybe the middle. I'm just gonna do it 4 bars. That's it. Maybe 1 bar. And I'm gonna go right here. Just gonna duplicate all of this, and we're just gonna use it as a sound effects. All right. So I'm gonna go, gonna disable this. So that's the sound, right? Let me go do it again. Okay. So what we are doing on this one, I'm doing a little bit of side chaining. I'm gonna for now disable this and disable this. And I'm doing the pan man again, just moving again from left to right. And when the song starts, we're gonna kind of introduce this and we're gonna do play. Now the thing is, again, this is a little bit intrusive. So what we can do again, we can do a kickstart and do a little bit of side chaining. And we can use it as a sound effect. That's the whole point of the creative delay. So in context, there you go. Now the main problem whenever we do something like this, whenever we create copies of the vocals and we create it we make it a sound effects, is that this one, it's pretty much on the same frequencies than this one. So when this one kicks in, we are gonna need to go down in volume on this one just to let this one pass. So again, on this one, we can do the the trick with the compressor. We're gonna be listening, and whenever the vocal kicks in, is going to duck the volume. And there you go. And then we just go back. Right? So again, just very simple trick. Okay, so we can do the same thing. Do it right here. For now, I'm just gonna chop this one and remove it. And we can copy whatever we did. Maybe I'm gonna copy this one. And let me just find the beginning. I'm gonna go there. What you can do, you can just reverse all of this. And you're gonna get the same vibe that we are getting right here at the top, on this vocal. But it's just gonna sound a little bit different. And it's just gonna show you. I'm gonna go to track and maybe clip. There we go. I'm gonna go and reverse it. And it's gonna sound a little bit different. Let me just solo this one. That's it. That's that's the sound. It sounds a little bit different. So what you can do, again, you can use it as a riser, just like we did with the clap right here. I'm gonna go, just make it a nice introduction, not super hard, and there you go. Now, of course, what you can do, you can just do the same thing that we are doing right here. I'm gonna go and go here. I'm gonna enable the pan man, the kickstart, and we're gonna duck with the voice. All right, so okay, we are pretty much doing the same thing right here, but we are reversing the start. Okay, so I got a different track right here. Let me show you how it sounds. All right, so that's it. So we are doing pretty much the same techniques, but again, on a different way. Let me just stop it. There we go. I'm gonna go to this one, which is the glitch automated delay. I'm gonna go and just show you all of the work I did right here. I'm just gonna go and stop it, just turn it off. This is the sound, which is very dull. Now the thing is that I would like to do a little bit of delay, and that's fine, just like we did before. I'm gonna go and do a little bit of delay. The thing is that the delay is gonna be a little bit boring. So what we can do, let me just open it right here. So we can mess with the delay timings just like we did before. On a very specific parts, we're gonna do some kind of a different movement. And then we are creating a pattern. And this, of course, makes a change. All right, so it's a little bit more interesting. And now, if you think about this, everything we are doing right here, we kind of already talked about. We already talked about this on this videos and previous videos. Just using it on very specific parts, using the time just to create a different sound. And again, we are kind of repeating ourselves right here, right now. So I'm going to go to the chord plug. Let me just show you what we have right here. All right, so that's it. So we have serum and we have a little bit of Valhalla vintage verb, a little bit of reverb. So I'm sending it to crush number 1. It's because I'm going to show you 2. So what you can do, and this is something very, super common these days. It's crushing whatever delay that you're using on this sound. So if I'm going to go right here and just play it. This is the sound, the original sound without the effect, right? And if I go here, notice the repetitions sound a little bit different. So I'm going to go to the repetitions. And we are doing a lot of things. And then here's the part where we can, grab whatever delay and then do whatever it is that we want afterwards. We can, receive notes and crush them with a pattern. We can do whatever we want to the repetitions, as long as, it sounds good. But we are doing just a little bit of delay, just a little bit of delay. Now, the thing is that what I want to do, I want to crush. Let me just show you. This is Crush by Tritic. It's a free plugin. I want to do a crush, but I don't want to do a constant crush. I only want to crush whenever the note kicks in. So what I'm doing getting a note receiver. So every time I receive a note, a MIDI note, this modulator, which is an ADSR, is going to know about it. So what we do a little bit of modulation only and only when the sound, when the plug, it's, playing. So I'm going to go and play it. Notice that the ADSR kicks in with the notes, and we do a drive. We do a crush and down sample. And again, we just start getting a bit more of a special sound. If I just turn this off, it's just a little bit dull, right? On top of that, we are doing a little bit of flanger. And on top of that, I'm doing a little bit of reverb. And you know what? You can even do a little bit of side chaining if you must. So I'm gonna go there and bring the kickstart. Let me just maybe put it right here. And there you go. What else do you want? So again, at the end of the day, it's all about creativity and exploration. Because, again, you just can do whatever you want. You get the delay. If you want a flanger, put a flanger. If you want a saturation, put a saturation. If you want to put a second delay after the delay, you can do this. So you are open to do all of these things. Don't think that just one delay, it's, correct, and you shouldn't put a delay after a delay. So you need to do a lot of experimentation right here. So, I'm going to go and send it to the other crush because, again, just to show you that you could do different things. I'm not going to use the chord receiver, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this richer color. And on this one, I'm just doing something simpler. I'm just sending the chord plug. We are getting to a delay. And now I'm showing you the crush version. Now, on the RC20, I'm using a patch called Vinyl. And this one is just destroying it. We are doing noise, wobble, distort, digital. And we are doing reverb. The space is just reverb. You're destroying the copy. But blended with the original signal, it sounds cool. And in context, maybe it's too loud. It's just a bit more special, right? Of course, at the end of the day, you need to mix all of this, and you need to do the work, still do the work. This plugin is amazing. If you can get it, just get it. Okay, so what else? I'm going to show you the last trick for now. Then I'm going to be showing you vocal tricks because it's just a different thing. I'm going to show you this one right here, which is pretty much the same thing that we did before. So what we can do, we can time the frozen. we get the freeze whenever we say something. We kind of freeze it. So I'm gonna go and play it. That's the sound. Not very special, right? It pretty sucks. It sucks a lot. So okay, so I'm gonna go, and what I do, when I'm gonna go and enable the freeze on the time shift at the last part of the clip. And this is again, it's just gonna give you the repetitions of the last part. Now the thing is that when you do something like this, it's gonna go crazy, right? It's just gonna do the repetitions, and it's just a little bit intrusive. So you need to put a tool again and just manage it with the volumes. Maybe something like that. Let's start again. Oh, of course, I need to turn it on to turn it on. Now, maybe I'm doing too much because I'm killing the effect and I'm just kind of using it as a reverb, as a simple delay. And I don't want that. I want the repetitions of the freeze. So think of this of using the feedback control all the way in, but doing it, just controlling it a little bit more with the tool. Right, so that's it. That's the final tip I can give you. Now, everything else, it comes with exploration. It's just, using tab delays, using just freeze delays, crushing it, using serial delays. That's the keyword for that one. And, and doing modulation. That's all about it. Then just maybe recording different versions of the delayed one and just reversing it, just mangle it and just distort it, and doing a lot of stuff. That's the creative delay part. Then you have a different side of the delay, which is just working on vocals. But that's a different thing. I'm gonna maybe leave it for a different video because this one went too long already. Okay, so hopefully you like this. You will catch a lot of wisdom on this ones. And remember to like, and see you on the next one.